The rooster crowed. The day had begun. In the heart of the Congo basin, a small village stirred. Huts, like slumbering giants, slowly awoke. Smoke curled from their thatched roofs. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and burning wood. Women, their voices a melodic hum, began their daily chores. Children chased each other, their laughter echoing through the narrow paths. The sun, a ball of fire, climbed higher in the sky. It painted the leaves of the ancient trees a vibrant green. The river, a silver serpent, snaked its way through the dense jungle. This was a place where life was lived in harmony with nature. It was a place where ancient traditions held sway. The village bustled with activity. Women gathered at the well, their clay pots balanced gracefully on their heads. The men prepared for a day of hunting, their spears sharp and ready. Elders sat under the shade of a baobab tree, sharing stories of their ancestors. This was the rhythm of life in the village. Yet, unknown to the villagers, one among them carried a secret that set her apart, a secret that filled her with both fear and longing. Her name was Amina, and she lived a double life. Amina was a quiet, solitary figure. By day, she was an ordinary young woman, her face plain, her skin dull and ashen. She moved through the village almost unnoticed. She performed her chores diligently, but her heart was heavy with a secret. She carried a burden that no one else could see. At night, everything changed. When the moon bathed the world in its silvery light, Amina would steal away into the forest. There, under the cover of darkness, she would shed her plain skin. It would fall to the ground like a discarded cloak. Beneath it lay her true beauty, a beauty so radiant, so captivating that it took one's breath away. Her skin, now smooth and radiant, shimmered like polished ebony. Her eyes, large and luminous, sparkled like the stars in the night sky. Her smile, hidden during the day, lit up the forest with its brilliance. This was the real Amina, the Amina that was hidden from the world. But her secret was a heavy burden. Amina longed to share her true self with others. She craved the warmth of companionship. She yearned for love. But she was afraid. Would the villagers accept her if they knew her secret? Would they recoil in horror at her transformation? The fear of rejection was a powerful force. It kept Amina trapped in her solitary existence. She continued to live her double life. She was the ordinary villager by day, the radiant beauty by night. One day, a stranger arrived in the village. His name was Kofi, a hunter from a distant land. He was tall and strong, with a smile that lit up his face. He carried himself with an air of quiet confidence. The villagers welcomed him with open arms. They offered him food and shelter. Kofi, in turn, was captivated by the beauty of the village and its people. He was drawn to their warmth and hospitality. He listened intently to their stories. He learned their customs. He felt a sense of belonging that he had never experienced before. One evening, as the villagers gathered around a crackling fire, Kofi noticed Amina. He was struck by her quiet grace, the sadness that seemed to linger in her eyes. He felt an inexplicable connection to her. He resolved to get to know her better. Kofi began to seek out Amina's company. He would join her as she walked to the well. He would help her with her chores. He would engage her in conversation, trying to draw her out of her shell. Amina, initially hesitant, found herself drawn to Kofi's kindness. She was charmed by his gentle nature and his genuine interest in her. For the first time, she felt a glimmer of hope. Could she confide in him? Could she share her secret with him? Amina yearned to tell him, but fear held her back. What if he rejected her? What if he turned away from her in disgust? One night, unable to bear the weight of her secret any longer, Amina decided to reveal her true self to Kofi. She led him to her favorite spot in the forest, a clearing bathed in moonlight. Her heart pounded in her chest. Her hands trembled with a mixture of fear and anticipation. She looked at Kofi, his face etched with concern. She took a deep breath and began to tell him her story. She spoke of her double life, of the curse that had been placed upon her. She spoke of her loneliness, her fear of rejection. Tears streamed down her face as she bared her soul to him. Kofi listened patiently, his gaze never leaving her face. When she was finished, he gently cupped her face in his hands. He wiped away her tears with his thumbs. "Amina," he said, his voice soft but firm, "you have nothing to fear. True beauty lies not in one's outward appearance, but in one's heart." He leaned in and kissed her forehead. As he did so, Amina felt a weight lift from her shoulders. For the first time in her life, she felt truly seen, truly accepted. She looked at Kofi, her eyes filled with gratitude and love. She realized that she had found someone special, someone who valued her for who she truly was. A wave of relief washed over her. Amina's skin, which had been shimmering under the moonlight, gradually returned to its daytime dullness. The transformation was complete. She was back to her ordinary self, yet she felt anything but ordinary.